the richest man who ever lived. And we think about here in our modern culture, and it's not Bill Gates or, lost other people's names, but it was also the man who was considered the wisest man who's ever lived. And that's King Solomon. When he ascended the throne from his father, King David, the Lord told him, "What do you want? I will give you whatever it is that you want. I'll give it to you." And so many of us were said, riches, it's got to be wealth. We all want wealth. But Solomon didn't do that. He asked for wisdom. And in the wisdom that he got, he became the wealthiest person ever. So what does wisdom from God look like? So we're going to start today right in the words penned by King Solomon. Proverbs 1. I am reading out of the English Standard Version, right out of my everyday, this is what I go, this is what I study out of Bible. Proverbs 1. We're told, it says, the beginning of knowledge, the Proverbs of Solomon, son of David, king of Israel. To know wisdom and instruction, to understand words of insight, to receive instruction in wise dealing, in righteousness, justice, and equity, to give prudence to the simple, knowledge and discretion to the youth. Let the wise hear and increase in learning, and the one who understands obtain guidance. To understand a proverb and a saying, the words of the wise and of their riddles. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. Fools despise wisdom and instruction. The fear of the Lord is the foundation of wisdom. And people hear that and go, ooh, fear of the Lord. And it's not, I'm terrified of him, although we should be to a point to be, knowing of what he can do. But the fear of the Lord is reverence. It's honor, it's awe, it's respect. When we have a reverence, because he is God and we are not. And we look at that, knowing that all of this comes from this. We want wisdom, but it begins in the awe and reverence and respect of God. That's where it all begins. So let's jump over to Psalm 1. How do we live in this wisdom? Psalm 1, it's titled The Way of the Righteous and of the Wicked. Blessed is the man who walks not in the counsel of the wicked, nor stands in the way of the sinners, nor sits in the seat of the scoffers. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and on his law he meditates day and night. How do we live in wisdom? It's right there. We don't listen to the wicked. We don't seek their advice. We don't seek their counsel. We don't live with and hang out with and do our life like the scoffers or the sinners. We don't act like them. We don't have the same goals. We don't walk the same way. We don't live the same way as them. We have to go here in verse 2, and it says, but his delight is in the law of the Lord. We just learned in Proverbs 1 that the fear of the Lord is the foundation of our knowledge. It's the foundation of wisdom. Remember, Solomon, God said, what do you want? What do you want? You want wealth? What do you want? But Solomon realized that wisdom from the Lord is far more valuable than anything else that we could ask for. And then we're told in Psalm 1 that if our delight is in the law of the Lord, and we meditated on it day and night, he will be like a tree planted by streams of water that yields its fruit in season, and its leaf does not wither, and in all that he does, he prospers. But the wicked are not so. They are like chaff that the wind drives away. We want the wisdom of the Lord because that is where everything stems from. How we live our life, how we walk the narrow path, how we seek him, everything starts from the fear of the Lord, the reverence, the awe. He's the beginning. He is the beginning. And that's where all of our knowledge comes from. Proverbs 14:1, this is a verse that I stand on so much, that I teach in women's ministry and in coaching, all of it, is, sorry, I thought I was going to sneeze, that the wise woman built her house, but a foolish tears it down with her own hands. The wisdom from the Lord teaches us how to live, how to build our house, how to live our life, how to have a family, how to manage our money, how to manage our relationships. All of it begins right there in Proverbs 1, when it says, the fear of the Lord is the foundation for wisdom. But we have to walk in it, or else we're the foolish one who's tearing everything down with our own hands.